Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. On this channel, I like to showcase the automotive community and the positive impact it has on the culture. On today's episode, I'm really excited to feature Heip Deng. Me personally, I've never been in a drift car before, and when I was at Brainerd International Raceway for the Proving Grounds, I literally grabbed my race helmet and kind of walked along the drift cars, and he was welcoming enough to let me just hop in the passenger seat and go for my first ever drift ride. I haven't had anybody else really specialize in drifting, so really excited to kind of hear what's in his mind and kind of how he got started in drifting.
My name is Hiep Deng. My friends just call me Hip. I drive a S13 Silvia that I bought pretty much stock and then turned it into a drift car, even though many people were trying to convince me not to. I was into drifting before I even knew I was. I remember my dad bought me a remote control car that I would drift around and do donuts in, do 360s, and in all the video games as a child I would just drift into. I didn't know what drifting was. A game I used to drift a lot in was the game Driver. Driver, you would drift around all the time. And I don't even think they even called it drifting in that game. In fact, for many, many years I had no idea what it was called. I didn't know what drifting was until maybe middle school when I started watching Initial D. And I got into Initial D by accident. I was on the computer at school and someone installed some file sharing program. I don't remember what program it was, but it was one of those illegal file sharing programs. And they also downloaded a bunch of episodes of Initial D. I had no idea what it was. I was just watching it and I was like, what's this? And then next thing I knew, I started downloading it myself at home. Drift a lot in go-karts too. I've always been into go-karts. And so I've been drifting like pretty much my whole life since I can remember. Maybe the first time I attempted to drift a real car was probably like 16 or something. But not like even like a rear-wheel drive car, just whatever car I could find. I just pull the e-brake, just go around corners. I think my first rear-wheel drive car was an '88 Mustang Fox body. It was 5.0, and I hit a curb with it. It's true. It's like those Mustangs. You can't control them. I got this car 2 years ago in the winter time, and I immediately took it outside in the snow. Immediately. Just going to parking lots and just doing donuts. A week after I bought it, there was a blizzard. I knew that if I go outside, I'll probably get stuck. It had all-season tires on. I didn't buy them. It came with all-season tires. It's like, well, and they're not winter tires, but at least they're not summer tires, so I'm going to take my chances. So I went outside and started drifting around, and maybe like 3 blocks away from here, I got stuck. And it took me 3 hours to get myself out of there with lots of help from strangers. But I remember by the time I got back, my socks were soaked. Snow was like up to my knees, and I was driving around this car all season tires. Like everywhere I was going, the whole bottom of the car was just dragging. I was just plowing the streets. So it wasn't smart. I knew I was gonna get stuck, but I risked it. What tips I would give to someone getting into drifting? You just got to put in the seat time. Just gotta take it to any track you can and just get as much seat time as possible. You can start off doing donuts and figure eights, but don't stick around doing that too long. Kind of push yourself outside of the comfort zone. Don't do anything that you might crash in, but take small risk. Push yourself close to your limit, but not over it. What drift events would I recommend? I've only been to Brainerd. I've only done Proving Grounds and Power Cruise at Brainerd. Proving Grounds is really hard to get into. You have to know the minute the tickets are going to go on sale for the drifting event, and they sell out less than a minute. So it's probably easier to get into Power Cruise, but it's hard to get seat time at Power Cruise. And I do know that they have some kind of Wednesday night drifting at Brainerd. I haven't done it yet, but I might just give that a try. It's just hard for me because it just seems like it's kind of a long drive to go there for one day. Then there's Shawano or whatever, I don't know, in Wisconsin. I haven't gone to it. I want to check it out, but I've seen videos and it looks really awesome. And there's another place in North Dakota, and then there's a few other places I've heard about but haven't really researched at all. But so I don't know. But I think like as long as you're out there behind the wheel, that's all that matters.